Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 418. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
How you doing? How you doing?
Brett Murdoch,
What's up?
and Brian Manjoma.
Does this mean that we have to call them 3-4 studios?
Call them Be Gone.
Yeah, be gone, right? Shit, man.
Be Gone Studios. They needed a rebrand anyway, like a bad pizza shop, you know? It's like, yo, new ownership, change the name.
Yo, man,
called Giuseppe's.
You're going from Joe's Pizza to Mike's Pizza?
Yo,
You know.
because it's got such a bad stink on it. I mean, they've never really succeeded since they've taken over from Bungie. So they need a reboot. The whole studio.
Yeah, that's the main topic pretty much. So we just get into it, man. By the way, not a lot happened this week.
But wait.
What?
Not a lot happened. This dude showed up on a stage. What is up with that?
Oh yeah, me. Yeah. I may have done a little something, but that's not industry news. But yeah, I was at the New York Game Awards on Tuesday, and I presented best AR game. With my homegirl Cherie, VR, whatever the fuck it was, with Cherie, and got to see a lot of Adam's laughing
because you are now that guy. You are now that guy.
You folks hear that energy? Make sure you check out our Discord and see how enthused Tony was about doing the VR.
You are now that guy. When we crack jokes on those video awards, and the guy that's presenting, we're like, that dude never played this game. He never played it.
It's true. I mean, Moss 2-1. I've never played that shit.
Never heard of it.
Moss was actually a really good example of VR. It's done pretty good.
I'll tell you guys some insider shit on that though. That script, literally, Sherry sent it to me while I was on the train there.
Oh, man.
She's like, "Yo, here's the script. Like, we'll just take a sentence." Like, bet. So but before I went on, I'm just memorizing my lines and shit. But then she was like, yeah, just read it off your phone. Everybody else is doing that, so my phone. So as you saw me, I had the mic here and I had my phone there, and that was it.
The Ghetto Awards, man.
No, that's not, dude, literally, and this the insider stuff. Most of the people there wrote their scripts there on the spot, So, because if you're a writer, you know what you're doing. Like last year, it was just virtual, right? I presented Game of the Year. We wrote that shit half an hour beforehand. That was it.
At least you didn't have an Al Pacino moment, and they put on a prompter where it's like, "Yo, what's this? Just read the shit. I can't see it. Oh, too late now."
What are you talking about? I can't see it. I'm 90 years old.
Yeah.
If he would have had a phone, they could have put it in front of him.
But I mean, I kind of wanted to talk about that at the end of the show, but we could talk about it now since there's nothing going on. One of the cool things about the show was, because you got to understand, when I'm on Twitter and even like on our Discord, to me, I actively interact with maybe 30 or 40, 50 people, right? Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I just have a very small following, right? No, I actually have a big following. So I was there. Everybody fucking knew me. Even people I didn't know. Manny's boss was there. He knew me, Yep.
He knows you. Like, I mean, he's because they didn't know, my boss didn't know that I did a regular podcast, or I told them a few times or something like that. And and I was like, oh yeah, like the host of our show is Tony. He's like, oh, Tony, that dude's a trip.
So yeah, I met your boss, cool dude. I'll tell you some stuff off here. It's kind of a little personal, but good stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I met a lot of like Throwdown listeners, people who follow me on Twitter. Really good stuff. Industry people that I haven't seen, obviously for obvious reasons. Nobody's been able to leave. But yeah, it was dope. By the way, Logic Wins. This is actually I never heard of the New York Game Awards. They've actually done these for 12 years already. Like this organization,
It's not like
big, It's not like big,
but I mean, like the last few, during the pandemic, they gave away, and Phil Spencer actually mentioned it when he got his Lifetime Achievement Award. they gave it to Hideo Kojima, who did do like some sort of speech or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think Tim Schafer got one too.
Yeah, he did, which is kind of cool. By the way, it was kind of funny, right? Because like right down from me, and I had to literally every time, the 2 times I went on stage, I had to tell this guy, excuse me, which is funny. The person who I said that to, Jeff Keighley, I was like, excuse me, so he was there. I'm thinking the whole time, like, yo, man, this award show is better than yours because we actually present awards,
yeah, people actually walk off the stage with awards. Like Phil had his award in his hand.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, here's 50 award. Here's another ad. We don't have any of that bullshit. And it was very New York centric too, which I really like. Giving back to the community and all that. So yeah, because Reggie, he was a cool dude. I met him. Very different than the way Chris described him. But I guess because Reggie was in like a more of business.
He was in work. Yeah, he was that's his job.
Yeah, he's in a business space. He's not like in that realm.
Yeah, when I was talking to Reggie, like I only talked to him like a couple of times, but every time I talked to him, he was really cool. Like he was really chill and stuff. He was cracking jokes and stuff. And because he knows Danny Pena, he knows me. He's like, Reggie's like, hey, I'm a Haitian, you're Dominican, we're from the same island. It's like good, cool shit like that. And I told him, hey, Reggie, thanks for saying my name right. And he was like, hey, I practiced beforehand, So yeah, good times. And I want to do more like New York events, get back out there finally, because it's good being around the fans, being around people who support you instead of these fucking ass. Again, I getting all that. I don't look for that stuff, but getting all that love was a nice contrast to the awful shit I got on Twitter. The reason I didn't post a picture of me and Phil Spencer is because I know what's going to happen when I do. The instant I do that, this fucking Xbot, they're going to be tagging me. They're going to be going crazy. So I'm like, I'll leave that shit alone. But Phil Spencer still followed me back anyway.
Yeah, man, leave that shit. Leave that shit for our group chat, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll tell you. We'll call you an Xbot. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I'll frame it and I'll put it in the back and we'll see if anybody notices.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see. Yo, man, you were on IGN, son.
Oh, I was. Oh shit.
Yeah, that was because
they did the telecast.
Because the telecast was on IGN. So
yeah. By the way, just proof of how my mind works. If Manny didn't bring this up, I probably wouldn't have talked about it because to me, that's already in the past. I'm already thinking about the next thing, That's why often when people ask me like, hey, what is your favorite article that you've written? What is your favorite podcast that you've done? I'm like, I don't think about that. It's just shit that's done, But it was good times.
That's actually a lot of different things because like, especially, again, when you work in the industry, you work on things. So the time frames for these things are so either long, you finished it a long time ago, or you're already moved on. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yeah, that's how it is. Many times I've had people come up to me like, "Man, I love your review of so and so. I love your article about so and so," and I tell them, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." In my head, I'm like, "I don't remember writing that shit."
So why they lying? I never played that.
I don't remember that shit. Never played that. But no, it's good to know what you've done, and be like, yeah, did some good work,
I mean, I as I remember, our boy was over there too. What's his face?
Michael Santiago. I got to talk about Michael real quick. This dude. Okay, so you got to understand something about Michael. He is a very avid gamer, but nobody in his life is a gamer, right? So when he met me and Danny and stuff, and he was like, "Oh wow, there's a big community here." Now he's really ingratiated himself. Like he goes to every award now, like every event. And not only that, he's not going there just to attend. He reached out to Harold, who runs the video game awards. He's like, hey, how can I help? How can I volunteer? So Harold's like, okay, why don't you help the people in? Why don't you get them situated? So Michael was volunteering there. He also did the same thing for like the New York, there's like a video game convention in New York. I forgot what it's called. But Michael volunteered to help out with that as well. And yeah, he's been doing this for like ever since things started opening up again. And he said it's all because of that day where he met Danny and I, where Danny presented him with the Xbox. Michael was the first civilian to get an Xbox before anybody, which is really good stuff.
That's hell of a story arc right there.
Yeah, it really is. So now he's like, and I wish we had more gamers like Michael, man, being real, it's like that dude just loves gaming, and I remember, I'll tell you this story. Like I remember, just contrast it, right? So the week before we met Michael, right? Danny brought the Xbox. He was staying in New York and stuff. That's when Rihanna came over and stuff. So he brought the Xbox to the hotel room. So I look at the Xbox and I instantly go into, like critical mode or whatever, inspecting it, looking at how many ports and shit, flipping it around, just inspecting it as a pure piece of tech, right? Following week, right? Michael, he sees the Xbox. Like, he's in awe. Like, oh my God. Like, he's like revering it. And I'm like, man, I lost that fucking sense of wonder years ago, didn't I?
We got it on video. Carlos, you always play it when we saw the big reveal. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, it was mostly you, Adam, and who else? There was Adam was probably the hypest one. Tony was just like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, I know. I got hyped. Like, is that a new console? But I'm saying, like,
Brett
but the point is, like, the console was physically there. I was just like, all right, let me analyze this shit. Let me inspect. Let's see what's up. How much does this motherfucker weigh? And Mike was just like, oh, Xbox. I'm like, that's cool. That's real gaming shit right there. So respect to that dude.
I mean, he's not looking to analyze. He's like, holy shit, I never thought I'd ever see this thing.
Yeah. Jay Shep, he goes, Tony, you're pretty much a celebrity. Did you meet any celebrities in gaming while there? I mean, yeah, Phil Spencer, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Todd Howard, and then a couple other people.
You didn't get to talk to Jeff. You didn't get to talk to Jeff a little bit.
No, I didn't get a chance. I've talked to him before though, but it comes with the industry. Yeah, and he is not wrong. Like, everybody fucking knew me, so I guess you could consider me a dumbass celebrity, which is stupid. Met Dio, that's what you call him. Uncle Phil. Dio Phil, man. Phil. But yeah, good times. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the show. Speaking about Phil. Segway Kings. We got to talk about Xbox and Microsoft. Some troubles are brewing, man. So Microsoft this week. First it was just like a rumor, right? Like a leak or something. Like Microsoft's going to fire 10,000 employees. Come to find out, yes, they did actually. Pretty bad stuff. And apparently 343 Industries was among the casualties. I don't know the exact numbers of who got fired and the amount.
64 people
something
so
like
far.
That. And I believe Staten, he was running the place. He's gone, right? Like, he's not getting fired. I think he just moved on.
He went back to his old position.
Yeah. So it's like, else. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about that. What's your thoughts?
I've seen 1/3 of 343 in some places.
Damn.
Well, because from what they were releasing with the reports,
maybe they only had 100 something
talking
people
about it, and it was like a lot of them were contractors.
Yeah,
I guess there's a lot of contractors and from all departments that they were getting cut from there. Because remember, Microsoft just recently unionized; they have a bunch of unions that are there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it seems like with a lot of contractors. Of course,
it's not the whole of Microsoft.
No, it's not the whole of it. There was different departments, whatever departments, but total was 10,000 in total, right? That's what the numbers.
10,000 for Microsoft in total, yeah.
So it's a little bit from everywhere.
Yeah. Also, and a little bit of an aside, Nadella, the guy who runs Microsoft, he got a 10% pay raise.
Nice, look at that. That's how it works.
You fired 10 motherfuckers and you get a pay raise. Like, okay, I guess that's how it works, right?
Yeah, we've seen that with the stocks. Whenever a company does mass layoffs, the stocks go up.
Yeah,
because they see it as like, oh, well, you're gonna have extra money. Thank you. It's all about the shareholders. But I mean, when I found out about this, we talked about this before. At least, even besides all the layoffs, it's sad, but 343 needed a restructuring. The whole debacle with Halo Infinite from the beginning, with the graphics and how shitty it looked, and then when they said, all right, we're going to take time to redo it, and look at all the delays. It took almost a full year just to get co-op play. That's ridiculous. It had a lot of issues. So I was not surprised when they announced, oh, well, this person's leaving this one, and all these other people go. I was like, all right, well, I don't want to see people lose their jobs. But this group, this needed a restructuring. I mean, there was people passing around these old tweets and quotes from Uncle Phil from 2011, where he was talking about how if Microsoft ever dropped the ball on Halo, then they would be in trouble because they are all about it. That is their flagship, and they want to keep it that way. Well, it's been dropped. That ball has been dropped and kicked around like a soccer ball right now, and so they need to pick that shit up. Fix it, look at all these studios they picked up from Bethesda. There's got to be one of them. I mean, give it to, what was it, Machine Head? Or I think that's the name of them, the guys who did the Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Let them grab that shit. You know, just add some grit to Halo and do something. I know they're not going to just abandon. That's one thing. When some people are like, oh well, this is it for Halo. No, but this could be it for 343. I could see them definitely getting rebranded after. Like, you know what? We're gonna brush that number off. We'll put a new name, a new logo on the front of the building, and let's get a fresh start on that.
I mean, 343 indicates Halo.
No.
It's
no.
You know,
they got to drop it something else. They got to put something else.
Oh yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying is like the irony.
No, I know I know the whole thing, but they can't. You know, it was almost like with the whole Halo shit. People are like, well, this isn't staying true to the story. I'm like, yeah, because the story in the game sucks. So anything would be better than what we played in the game. Usually that's not the case. Last of Us, first one, great story. Show carried that over. They didn't change it up and put Vin Diesel and some other Michelle Rodriguez as the main character. Like, what is this shit? No, they kept true to the source material. Yes. But Halo itself has fallen off for a long time, story wise.
I don't know if the Fast and Furious comparison is that adequate, because the first one compared to the
no, I'm not saying Fast and Furious comparison. I'm saying if they put Vin Diesel in as Joel, make him a badass. That's what I'm saying. If they would have went down that road, given a badass one, I'm like, oh, come on now. Joel was like an everyday guy.
Yeah. These cuts were across the board through Microsoft. 343 was probably one of the ones that got hit the most. I know Bethesda had cuts. I think I saw the Coalition somewhere. But 343 is sort of, in the what's it called? In the bird's eye view with this one, because they're the ones that everyone's sort of scared about what's going to happen to next.
And a lot of them were very vocal on Twitter. Like, that was the thing. A lot of them that were getting let go were very vocal and talking about it. That's probably another.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for Microsoft and for all those people that just lost their jobs. 10,000 people, man, that's nothing to sniff at right there. Yeah, I mean 343, and I know Tony mentioned this on Twitter. He's like, yeah, I don't know, I forgot what exactly he said, but things aren't looking good for 343, and they haven't looked good since their inception.
Yeah, pretty
much.
Master
Chief Collection was always broken. I mean, they're still patching that shit.
Yeah, there's never been like a moment of glory for 343, has there?
No,
it's always been. It's. I mean, again, it's like they're chasing the dragon right there, because it's like, how do you follow up? Somebody like a Bungie, those are huge footprints to fill. Yeah.
The crazy thing is, and Adam, you'll talk about this too, because we played Halo Infinite together. The combat in the game is really good.
Yeah.
The gameplay, the shooting mechanics, everything. Like, it's like, oh, this feels really good. It's just their direction. It's like, we're gonna make it like a Destiny game. It's like, isn't that ironic, man?
It was too
Isn't
late,
that freaking ironic?
See, and this is what I was thinking too. If this does happen with this whole Activision deal, because now they can say this: look, we're hurting so bad. Our games are crap. We need this. But anyway, if they do get around to do that, if they could even grab one of those studios that works on Call of Duty, it says, hey, do you want to fix our Halo shit? Because we got a problem. If they could just put a little respect on that shit, because they already got the gameplay. If they could just wrap the world around it and just bring the grit. That's what I miss. People forget Halo was a gritty game. It was a dark story, and then it became very comical. Now you got to want to zip line and talking all this shit constantly. I don't need them talking. Just like I need my RoboCop talking all the time. Just a little bit here and there. Where are they? Go shoot them. That's it. That's all
I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a dark story, but there was some goofy shit there. Like, even with the first one,
it was old. Like the Qatar,
those little guys.
Those little guys.
But they didn't talk. In the first ones, they made noises and said grunts and stuff. Next, this ain't jokes in this one.
Yeah, no, that's not good. That's not good. But I'm just saying that was always kind of goofy. Those little guys.
Yeah,
those little guys.
Yeah, they've always been really goofy. They're just they're really.
The thing is, okay, going back to what you're saying, it's like, okay, because the problem isn't the gameplay so much. I think the problem is with the story, and I'm like, if we're gonna give them
the story.
like Call of Duty, it's like I don't know about that.
Put a grid on it. I mean, that's the thing. Put some. We always see what I said, like with the campaign and things like that. They just, at least for the Call of Duty, they just had like this seriousness to it, depending on which one. But then they're very good with the storytelling. Yeah. Granted, a lot of it's period pieces. It's not sci-fi, so I don't know how they would.
Except for that one Call of Duty.
Oh, but yeah, that one didn't review well, but people still bought it. Why? Because Call of Duty.
It was a Call of Duty,
That was Call of Duty Infinite. That was.
I mean, we were playing Infinite. Me, Adam, and his friend. Yo, what up, sucker? That guy. We played for like 3 or 4 hours, and we're like more than halfway through the game. Yeah, like at that point. So
and now the problem, every area looked the same. Every time we went
to the base, and we spent an hour just lost. We don't know what the hell we were doing because the map is just it just didn't make sense.
Y'all fucking it up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate. I mean, Halo is their main franchise.
That's what got them on the map from the first Xbox. It wasn't Gears. Gears wasn't on there yet. It was Halo.
And man, I mean, they better pray this Activision deal goes through because, do they even have? Is Halo even a big time franchise anymore?
No.
Well, they gotta no.
No, let's just be honest here. It isn't.
Oh, they know it. They know it too. Sales wise, it's proven it. It's not that big one anymore.
Gears has been declining. It's like really slow and
Adam, I know you don't want to hear it, but it's true. It's
not as bad as Halo, but
there's still people that play it. That's the thing.
But let's just be real though. Gears of War 4 and 5 compared to the first 3. Come on now,
I don't know.
Like those first 3 on fucking that's pinnacle right there.
Well, I think because it was new, it was something different.
No, they're just good games, man. Think about this, Adam. I'm actually gonna shut that shit down. Anecdotal though. Remember, I didn't play Gears of War until 2016, right? And I had played a bunch of shit already. That first Gears of War is fucking incredible. What a great fucking. But think about it. So So to me, it's not about like, oh yeah, it was incredible back when it first came out. I didn't play when it first came out. I played it as is. I'm like, this shit beats out almost every other game that came out that year.
So you played 4 and 5?
I didn't play 5. I played 4, and I didn't play 5 because I didn't like 4 that much. But I played the first 3 like pretty much back to back. Like these games are fucking awesome. I skipped Judgment because everybody's telling me it's trash. So
Judgment was alright. Judgment was fun.
I played 4. It was all right. And I heard 5
was better than 4.
I heard it was worse than that.
5 had a lot of crazy bosses. It had an open world. It had a lot going on.
That's not good.
The open world was hit and miss for a lot of people.
It was definitely a hit or miss, complete miss, because some people didn't even know it existed. Because you can get it was like you had to get in a little car type of weird thingy and go over ice, but you can go different paths. But most people just went straight. It
was kind of like God of War.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It sort of reminded me of God of War and the canoe. It's like you could just go to where you have to go, or you could just go all the way to a distance, and you'll probably find some shit.
Yeah,
and the little boy will say, "Hey, maybe what's over there?" Well, your other buddy in there, NPC would say, "What's over there?" But you could like, "Fuck it, I gotta go."
Yo, man, that little boy was me, and you left me stranded.
That was that one time. But the 4 had a lot of robots. You were fighting robots all the time. I wasn't a fan of 4. The multiplayer was great, but the story wasn't. And 5, I loved all of it. It was good. I just think that people just want something different. I don't know. And they tried. They had that Gears Tactics, that RTS version, remember? That came out. I don't know. They need something else besides the Forza. That's for sure.
I feel like
the tactics games.
Yeah. I played it. Yeah,
because I know you like those type of games too.
Yeah.
I feel like though that's not like Gears Tactics is a different fan base. Like tactics games and first person shooters are 2 different.
Oh yeah. But Halo Wars was a hit for them. That's why. So they were like, well, if Halo worked, remember they did Halo Wars 1 and 2. I think this is like, well, let's see if we can bring the Gears universe in there and do the same type of deal. See, it was okay, but it's not what I want. I like the running gun and shooting and chains.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with Halo because that was their big franchise. Now it isn't.
They had so much writing on it, man. Do you remember when they first talked about it? This was going to be for years. They got all these plans. They're going to add, the world is going to expand. There's going to be new things that, I guess, DLC things that drop in the world because it's infinite. It's supposed to be this big map, and none of that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, and I hate, we this type of story, we see it like almost every week now, and it just keeps going more and more because, the motherfuckers don't want to say, but we're in a recession right now, basically.
Oh, yeah. That's serious.
The government may say, it's not really a recession. Yes, it is.
Everything. Yeah. All this stuff is happening. It's a recession. And people thought like, oh, hey, they're not going to let us go, when the pandemic, was at its height. But that doesn't mean that shit ain't gonna happen later on when the ball drops, and this is what's happening right now.
If they're not making money,
especially with all the mistakes that these companies are making, like a lot of them are raising their prices in this time when people things are expensive.
Yeah, this is the first time where we've seen like hardware prices go up and no advancements, like what we saw with the MetaQuest, right? They raised the price by $50. It's the same unit. They haven't changed anything about it. PlayStation, right? That was another one. And I saw another one today that quietly raised the price. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they're trying to get more money out of this stuff where people don't have fucking money.
Yeah.
And then they start complaining about how come they're like, oh, well, we got to make budget cuts. Yeah, because you raise the prices and nobody's going to go for that. What's the first shit that's going to go whenever you're running low on money?
Yeah.
Entertainment, that's your Netflix, that's your Disney Pluses. Didn't they both have
HBO
lows?
just did it. HBO just raised their price, remember? Like a day or two before the last one.
And watch, as soon as that happens, a bunch of people are just gonna jump ship. What was it? Toy companies like Hasbro record lows since the pandemic, where they were even a lot of companies were saying that they were having highs. It was like in 2020, 2021, parts of 2022. Well, 2022 was when it started going down, but still, like all these companies, they don't seem to be reading the tea leaves, right? Don't raise the prices on shit when people are fucking losing their jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's not a lot of money going around.
Yeah, and then the problem is, it's like obviously these companies, they need to maintain their profits. So how do you do that? You get rid of people, but again, you're trying to match the profits that you had in an unusual year when everybody was just buying a bunch of shit.
Exactly.
Now that slowed down, but they still want to maintain that. It's fucking wild, man.
And it doesn't really balance itself out because let's say, right, you fire a bunch of people and they're up here and then you start dropping it, but then you still need to produce. So now you're trying to produce with less. So then now it's going to take even longer for that to come out, or if it can't come out at all. Because that's one of the things I saw when these guys were talking about it on Twitter. People that were leaving, they're like, "Oh, I lost some buddies. Now it's like somebody new may have to come in and have to be trained. Or if they don't do it, then it's all going to be on me." And that's the way it is, right? And so now it's going to hurt the consumer as well. So why should that consumer want to pay $70 for something that's going to be a half-ass because you had to lay off all these other people to make that product better?
Yeah. Brett, people are asking your opinion. What do you think about all this? If you're around. He may be feeding his dog. Anyway, Brian, thoughts?
Like on the one hand, it is very upsetting. Again, it's never fun when people lose their job en masse like that. It's not good. But then again, given the current climate of things and how pretty much everywhere in the world is having a recession because people thought it might be a good idea to print money, which it always is. So it's kind of like, things just suck. So it was inevitable that people would lose their job, given how things are just going down the drain. But then at the same time, it's like, look, 343 have not really been doing well. In my eyes, they've not been doing that well. And my perspective is purely based on like I went through and played all the Halo games when they came to PC. So I literally played everything from the first game to I think was number 4. And then played Infinite afterwards, all in like the same 6 months. So I have a compressed view of the quality of all the games in that span, and yeah, there's an obvious decline from when Bungie was doing it to when 343 are doing it. So it was inevitable that 343 would just go down this way and they'd lose people. So maybe this is for the best. Maybe this will get them to clean their act and re-strategize and rethink things and try again. Or maybe this will mean that they're going to give it one more go and then that's it.
Yeah.
Either way, something has to change. Something has to give.
No, you're right about that because I played the Halo games kind of in short succession to it. You tell the difference, man, between 3 and 4. You're like, what the fuck happened here? It's a damn
Even
shame, man.
ODST, so I don't get why people are saying that. Yeah, you need to have Master Chief in there. It's like, did you not play ODST? Like,
Just
I don't know.
Groups, yeah, you don't need it.
Like, I honestly don't. They may have mentioned Chief in the background, but even then, it was still like, yeah, this is a fun Halo game. Like, it's doing what games are meant to do. Like, you take the universe and then you explore different parts of said universe. And they have ODST, but yet somehow Halo 5 tried that, and that was it. Didn't do that well.
I mean, even Halo Reach, that wasn't even a Halo game with him in either, and it still ended up working.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's stuck with the lore. It was about a portion in Halo history that was mentioned, but you never got to play it.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see, man. But like you guys said, something's got to change, man. All right.
But the crazy thing is, it's like with all these new people coming in and all this other stuff, like, how do you do, like, what do you do to, what is at this point, we're so far from the point. How do you give somebody something they're familiar with? And now it's been a long time since people have played like a really on point Halo game.
2007. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of any of y'all watch Community?
I watched some of it. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Remember the season like the Dan Harmon was not there, and it was super fucking obvious because everything kind of became derivative of itself. Mm-hmm. That's the problem I think we're at now. Like, I don't know that there's enough original visionary talent left at 343 to really do anything other than a good homage. I mean, it's not the same people. It's not the same company. It's not the same owners. It's not the same anything. So at this point, you have pretty much as much of a chance catching that lightning in a bottle with this group as you do with just about anybody else. Because again, it's all just strangers to the franchise at this point.
The sad part of it is that when Destiny came out, people were like, well, this is what we wanted Halo to evolve into. This is it. And it sort of feels and plays like Halo, so it really is without the name. And I would agree with that, but now we're in a situation where Sony owns them and Microsoft owns the Halo franchise. So while there's enough room for both of them to exist, there's also enough room for both of them to still try and be competitive. So I agree, but I think that I don't think Microsoft is going to be able to say, well, we're just writing Halo off then. They have to find a way back from there. They could not. I can never imagine that where they just write it off. And like, I think about it, that's always going to come up. That's their mascot, that Master Chief. That's the thing. Every year, I'm like, hey, what are you going to do with Halo? Have you seen the new cars in Forza? No, we're not going to get that. They're not going to do.
Here's where I see a way forward from this, though. It's like I said, you don't have that same group of people, so you can't really just capture that lightning in a bottle. What you do have is an umbrella company that houses some of the top talent in the industry at this point. If you're willing to consolidate from different areas that Microsoft owns and kind of build this team internally, I believe that they have the talent to be able to give this a good overhaul. They have the talent. It's just about, are they willing to consolidate in one place? Are they willing to bring in people as temporary contractors from other more successful franchises? Because that's what Microsoft needs. That's where they hold the real power, in my opinion, right? Like keeping all of these companies segregated, it can help with keeping their identity, but they need to be willing to like let people be borrowed, because that's the thing nobody else can do.
Yeah. Need to go in a new direction. Fresh blood.
Oh man, kind of got to change the topic a little bit, but it's still related to Xbox though. Manny, our boy Luke Plunkett, remember him?
Yep.
He said something controversial.
What did he say?
And I'm tying it all together a little bit. Remember, so at the Game Awards, Phil Spencer, gave a really good speech and stuff, and he said that that Microsoft is trying to bring gamers together or whatever, right? So Luke Plunkett, he quote tweets that, and he says, "Turn away from dividing players," says man at the helm of the most toxic fan base in all of video games.
Whoa, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
Nintendo's, I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to. I almost tweeted it, but I left it out. No, the Xbox community. Don't get me wrong; those motherfuckers have come at me very hard in the past. But the absolute worst, and I'll be honest, PlayStation are now worse than Xbox guys. But no community is as bad as the fucking Nintendo community. They are, and this is just anecdotal, obviously, based on my own experience, because, they cost me money. They cost me a job. I could say that. Fucking idiot.
Tony?
All because I dare to say that GTA 5 can't run on Switch. By the way, where's that port?
Yo, Tony?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I want to say I agree with you, but here's the thing. I also think that information may soon be, like, that may be information that's a little dated, maybe a couple years old. Like, I gotta say, one of the things that I've really noticed in the last couple years with the price hike, with the kind of leaks about bought exclusivity and whatnot, I have never seen a fan base argue against their own best interest more than the PlayStation fan base, man.
Oh, no, the PlayStation fan base is fucking terrible this generation. Like, they have outdone the Xbox community, because the Xbox community was toxic as fuck. They were number two for a long time, but PlayStation have gotten way worse. Like, here's the thing. PlayStation guys, they're not as bad as... And again, this is all from my experience, because, again, PlayStation and Xbox I've never tagged my jobs. Like these Nintendo idiots have.
When he means, and what you're saying with toxic, you're saying is when people attack because you disagree with something. Because what I'm thinking also toxic is in... I jump on to play a multiplayer game and I'm hearing hate speech or whatever, like that type of shit. That is what I would think is toxic community, because I'm in the community playing games.
I think it's everything.
Yeah,
I haven't come across any of that.
Here's the thing: we're talking about two different things, but you're not wrong either, Adam. You're not wrong either. Yeah. If you see it that way, then yes, Xbox is the most toxic. If you just, and I'll explain, because PlayStation guys and Nintendo guys don't go online. So by default, remember, Brett, you even said that's like, hey, these PlayStation guys are quiet, Oh, dude,
yeah, no. What's interesting here is my definition is different than both yours.
Okay.
My definition is the ones that are worse for the industry as a whole. That's why I said I got to give it to Sony, because they're shooting themselves in the foot and making bad decisions that are becoming precedent. Meanwhile, their fan base is cheering it on while it's obviously not in their own best interests. Yeah. It's weird.
Nintendo fans are kind of like that too, though. They go against their own.
They are. But I've seen a lot this generation, last couple years especially. That's why I say I think I'm giving it to PlayStation, just because Nintendo fans have kind of been like that. They've been relatively quiet. I've seen Sony fans championing things that are anti-consumerist, but also just anti-gamer, anti for them too.
Logic Wins, you bring this up in the chat, but I'm going to expand that. He says, after The Last of Us 2 controversy, PlayStation guys went after Abby's voice actress. Yeah, the PlayStation guys, and this is not new, they are the only ones that I could think of, please correct me if I'm wrong, I could be, that have actually gone after developers about shit. Remember No Man's Sky? Remember how they went after developers? If you don't finish this game, I'm going to kill you. Like death threats. If you kill the developer, they're not going to finish the game. Like Logic here. They went after Jason Schreier because he correctly reported that the game was being delayed. They came after his ass, right? And then they came after me for a few times over me reporting what was actually happening with the game. Not an opinion piece. Here's the news. You know, so yeah, PlayStation guys, they will definitely come after developers, which is weird, you know. But Nintendo fans, again, these are the same fucking idiots. When Chris wrote his article over the Coalition, this was years ago, where he correctly everything. You know how Chris rolls. Ain't opinions there. It's just facts, right? They came after him because he correctly said that Nintendo doesn't have an infinite amount of money. They went to Richard Bailey Jr. and go, you need to fire Chris Seeley, and he needs to apologize to Nintendo. Coalition doesn't pay nobody. He's like, fire him. You know, it's like, what the fuck, man? It's Nintendo fans are fucking toxic and evil and crazy, man. They're deranged, you know. And it's just funny because they play these little cutie games and shit, but they're like the most vile, you know.
No, they're like children. You're like, don't you talk about my name?
You know what? I think you're right. If you play kids games, you're gonna act petulant like a child.
You're gonna be a big giant baby.
Yeah, but PlayStation guys, I'm talking about the fanboys, not the fans. There's a difference between fans and fanboys. They've gotten crazy this generation. You know, now I'm considered an Xbox to these people, even though I don't own a fucking Xbox and I don't plan to own one. You know, it's wild, man. In general, just toxic fan bases are bullshit. You know, but yeah, but Adam, you are right about that though, because I do specifically blame the Xbox community for starting the dude bro community. You know,
well, because they were the first one on the console side to have headsets and to open up that voice chat, so that's where you got to hear. But I got to say, as somebody who plays what would be considered like the most toxic thing you could play out there was Call of Duty, and I play with my headset on, I don't hear the bullshit that I used to hear.
Oh, the world's different now. We're softer now.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's it. I don't hear it, and it's like, all right, whatever. And then at the end, every once in a while, you hear like, "Good game, yo."
It was like, "Hey, yo, man, suck my dick, you motherfucker."
Back in the day, especially to the point when I would play FIFA, and then I would hear reggaeton blasting, and people like, bitching and doing all this shit.
Yeah, babies and shit crying, you know.
Yeah. On Call of Duty, what I'll hear is like somebody forget that their mic is on, and you could hear talking. It's like, it's time for dinner. What are you doing? Oh, and people bullshitting, talking about life, and then I just mute them. But when it comes to actual attacking other players, you know, talking shit and stuff, I don't think people care too much because it's all about collecting. Before it was about ranking up for the team and stuff. Now it's all about you proceeding, getting your own stuff, getting your rewards from the seasons and stuff. It's not so much about the team. No one gives a shit. Yeah. Level up your own stuff.
Blitz, he asked, I'm guessing this addressed to me. So is there a difference between Nintendo fans and fanboys? It seems like they all get lumped into one group. No, there's a difference, but Nintendo fans are still weird. They're not toxic. They're just weird. You know, I always said Nintendo fans, I'm talking about fans, just regular fans. They're in their own world. They're like Nintendo. They're kind of that weird kid and shit. He's not really harming anybody, but you could tell he's off. You know, that's how I kind of see Nintendo fans.
Damn, are you saying this? So he's a creepy guy. He's like, yo, I'm not leaving my kid with this guy. He says he can babysit, but I don't trust.
Now, Blitz, man, you still play real games though, man. You still play PlayStation, so you're good. You know,
I don't know. You're talking about the people that only play Nintendo.
Yeah, those guys. You know,
I don't know anybody. Anybody here know anybody?
No, I know some people. You know, like it's like. A little off there, buddy. But the fans they're harmless. The fanboys are the ones that want to get you fired, you know. Did you guys read the story of NetEase and Blizzard? What's going on with NetEase? NetEase,
No, I don't.
Anyway, all right, move on. A couple other things here. We got to talk about our boy Yves Guillemot, Ubisoft head.
Oh my god!
Uh-oh. So he's had to apologize over a comment he made last week. You know, where I think we talked about this during the question.
Was it the email that he released?
Yeah, it was the email. So he basically said to employees like, "Oh, it's up to you to turn things around." People are not happy about that. You know, he said the ball is now in your court. Actually, let me read his statement a little here. The ball is now in your court. For years it has been in your court. So why did you mishandle the ball so badly? So we, the coworkers, have to fix you. That's it. That's that's a comment somebody said to him. Damn, that motherfucker's mad.
Well, shit. Why did he put money into NFTs and go all in on mobile and all that shit? Come on now. Listen to the audience. Nobody wants that shit. You're wasting money and talent on bullshit projects.
Yeah, he basically said he heard people's feedback and he's sorry it was perceived that way. He didn't apologize for the comment though. My man.
No, he didn't.
I love that. I'm sorry you feel that way.
yeah. Well, you know what? Who has final say in approving projects? That would be him.
Yeah, that'd be him.
So if a game, most of these games, not that they're buggy or they're broken, it's just no one wants to play them. That Mario and Rabbids and stuff, you would think that would sell like hotcakes. It's got Mario in it, and no, it didn't. So, hey, the developers don't make the deals and the partnerships.
Yeah,
they just produce what they need them to make. Yeah, that's it.
But that comment. Here's the thing. I understood what he was trying to say, but I knew it was like, oh, that's going to be perceived bad, isn't it?
That's something you say in a meeting. You don't send in an email because that's going to get shared around.
Yeah. Fucking.
And I'm sure that was a translation. I'm sure because remember he's French. I'm sure he sent his emails out in French.
Probably,
right?
Yeah. Fucking Louis or whatever. What's a French name?
There's a bunch of Le Plou.
Le Plou. He saw that like, I don't like these. I'm gonna send these to I'm sending these to Kotaku.
That's it.
Oh man! All right, let's move on.
On the upside with that is that they're not, at least the way they're described, they're not really in financial. They had a bad year, but they still turned a profit thanks to fucking Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's still generating money for them. As much as people bitch about how long it is when they come out with new DLC and stuff, that last one, it sold pretty well. So they just need to invest in more IPs. They said in that same email, he says that this is going to be their best or biggest year with the titles, and that they have another AAA title yet to be announced that is going to change the game, shit like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The 2 Division games are still coming. One I don't give a shit about. It's all mobile, and the other one is still coming. Don't say that. And the other one is coming to all platforms, PC, and not mobile. That's Heartland. I'm looking, and it's scheduled for April, around that window, hopefully.
Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts on Yves Guillemot? I'm gonna take that as a no. So
he needs to be gone.
Well, he saved them during that hostile takeover attempt. Remember?
Or the War 1812?
No, in Vendi, was that it? In Vendi, when they were trying to buy up stocks from all the other people so they can have the majority and take over. That was that whole big.
I don't know. Ubisoft, and I'm talking about Adam. I just don't like the direction they've been going through these last couple of years. No offense to the Division.
No, they have. They haven't really.
It's just all the games they have franchises that they cultivated in the last decade or plus, and it feels like they're going nowhere. And you guys talked about the whole NFT shit. It's just I don't get good vibes. I don't get sometimes we have Nintendo and Sony and Bethesda and stuff like that. They whenever they come up with games, especially the first party games. Like they always seem to, have something excited about them, and whenever I hear a Ubisoft game, I think it's like, they're going back to the whole same old cookie formula that they used for the previous game, and we're putting it in Washington D.C.
Oh yeah, you're about to see that again because remember the same group that did Division are the ones that are doing the Star Wars game that they have. That's the other big project it's not his AAA that we don't know about because we all know that's coming. But that's the other one that they're working on. And then Avatar got delayed. That was the other big one.
One of the few games that I felt like they kind of went on a different direction was Watch Dogs Legion. I feel like
that was an epic fail.
But yeah, they had different issues. And for me, I don't know, Watch Dogs, man. I bought into the hype for the first one and I got burned. So
yeah, because it looked amazing. It looked great. The first one.
It didn't even run on. It didn't even run on my computer. I bought it on PC day one, and that shit couldn't run. It was glitching everywhere. And I had a pretty decent PC back in the day.
Yeah, I think I forgot what I played that on. I think I was on PC too, but my problem wasn't even the bugs. It was just the game.
Yeah,
the game. And it sucks because like the world was cool. Like future London and shit. And if you think about it, the game's pretty cyberpunkish too. you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story wasn't there, you know.
And the gameplay concepts, with the hacking and stuff, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like those concepts. It just, it didn't really lead up to something that was greater than the hype that built it. Even the Division, as much as it is a popular game, especially the first one. The hype that we got, I don't know if it was E3, whenever it was announced. When they
E3,
did that,
motherfuckers went crazy. Like, yo, you see that shit? You know.
remember, they're using that what's it called, that drone and stuff.
Well,
that
that's
didn't
the thing.
really come to
The
fruition.
drone. They had
The car.
first
Remember
movie with the app. Then
when the car
your
got
friend
shot
can play.
up? It looked beautiful. I'm like, damn, this is a next gen game, and it looked nothing like that.
Yeah, they took the drone out. They put it in 2. They scrapped the whole controlling third person because people said, "Damn, that's cheating." If you have somebody who could just be on his phone and just see where the other NPCs are or the other enemies, if you were like in the dark zone and shit, that'd be cheating. Yeah, and it had a lot of problems.
Doesn't everyone have phones? Dude.
Right, exactly. Everybody has phones and they all cheat. So.
All right, man. Let's move on here. All right, this one was disappointing because I was kind of looking forward to the Suicide Squad game just because Rocksteady's making it.
No.
Then I see this shit. I'm like, oh, here we fucking go. Here we go.
Don't do this, Tony.
What happened, Ray?
So a leaked image came out of like the character select screen or whatever menus. They got a battle pass season.
Oh no, that's okay because you don't have to pay for those. It's different if it was a season pay pass, but if it's a battle pass, you don't have to pay for battle passes. You can earn all that stuff just by playing. That's what's in Call of Duty and stuff.
I don't know,
okay.
but just the fact that's in there, that like 60% of my hype just went down.
But that's for the extreme grindy guys that just want cosmetics and bullshit. Like that's in all these games. Fortnite, all of them do it. If you don't care, if you don't care about all that shit, you're all right.
Yeah, but the fact that it's in your face, the way at least these menus are presented, that's going to be a turnoff for a lot of people. And obviously, you saw people's reactions this week when they saw that. I was on their camp. I was like, yeah, this is some fucking bullshit.
I gotta see that then because there's a difference between a season pass and a battle pass.
To me, it's the same shit, man.
Battle pass, you don't have to pay, and everything is already there in your face. All you have to do is play.
Yeah.
So it says, "Hey, complete X amount of challenges, get this weapon," or
battle pass, Adam. Yeah.
There you go. That's okay. Then that's fine.
They claim that it's going to be cosmetic, but we'll see about that.
It's because cosmetic sells. Cosmetic sells. As much as people say, "Oh, well, we're gonna," no, cosmetic sells because everybody wants to look different. Whether it's
but here's something that troubles me. It's going to be mission based, which means online, which means there's not going to be a cohesive narrative, really.
Do they have multiplayer? Is there multiplayer?
That's what it seems like.
Because I thought it was single player.
That's what I thought too.
Because I was talking with Rich about it because he's excited for it. He's like, it's supposed, from what he thinks, it's going to play like the Guardians of the Galaxy, where you have a team, but it's a single player game. You're just controlling.
But again, this is just me speculating. But if it's mission based, that kind of tells me multiplayer. Yeah, I could be wrong though. I hope I'm wrong.
Unless it's separate, if it's one of those separate things. We've seen that before, where some games will just have their own little side co-op missions.
Yeah.
Call of Duty had it with Spec Ops. It's not really campaign shit. It's just like missions where you and your buddies play. Even that the Ghostbusters video game, not the remaster. They took it out. The first one, they had co-op, but it was just side bullshit mission. Like, get as many ghosts as you can before your buddy can. That's it. I don't know. I gotta look this up. When does this game come out?
I have no idea.
Soon, right? I think it's soon.
Supposed to be this year?
February, March?
No way.
No.
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, right? Release date. Oh shit, May 26th. Okay, cool. Summer game.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think about the potential of this having a battle pass?
Of course it will, because it can.
Right?
Yeah. Well, remember, the worst was when Arkham Knight had that season pass for like $50. Remember? It was announced that they had a season pass before the game even came out. It's like, yo, then you could have just put that shit in. That sucks because there is no way to get that stuff unless you. It's like forcing you to pay to get all those suits and shit.
That's what I fear.
Yeah, that's.
So
it's current year AAA games. It's either you get your sad dad or filled with microtransactions. There's just no middle ground anymore. It's just it's annoying. But yeah, so I'm not surprised. It's just what they have to do. Like they're just not content with just the $70 sale now, because apparently people were saying that when games go up in price, it means that they won't put in microtransactions, and I was like, no. Why? Because they like money, and this is just more money for them. So of course they'll put in more crap in there. So yeah, it's just I'm not surprised. So it's like, yeah, cool, do it. Go ahead. Hopefully to wash away people's bad taste of Arkham Knights. Was it Arkham Knights? No, Gotham Knights. Yeah.
Yeah, Gotham.
Yeah, to wash
trash.
away. Yeah, it'll wash away the bad taste of Gotham Knights. Hopefully.
Yeah, at least with the controls, I just can't believe they. Controls is what made it special. Why touch everything else? Don't touch that.
Don't fuck it up.
Right, exactly. It wasn't broke. You don't need fixing. You could tweak it, but don't scrap it. And gave us whatever the shit that was.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, what else happened? All right, I guess even though we already did a podcast on it and kind of talked about it on the Sunday show, we could talk about the Last of Us TV show. It's a hit, people.
Yeah. Speaking of that, though, I did talk to some casuals.
What do the normies think, man?
I wanted to find out. So I talked to some people that they're not into, they never played the game. They don't know any of that stuff. They just watch TV shows. 2 of them were offended.
You were offended?
Offended? Well, maybe offended is not the right word. Maybe disgust, I guess.
Okay.
It was, their whole thing is first episode, 2 kids die and that was enough for them. They were like, all right, well, because they don't know the game, and they're like, what are they trying to? They're just trying to get feels out of me, And these people happen to have kids, and it's like, here it is, first kid gets shot, whole thing, okay, and then next, do you have to show him Joel picking up a dead body of a child and dumping it in the pit like that? Why do you have to show that? So they were offended or upset. They found it disturbing, tasteless to show that. And I can't keep saying, well, that part wasn't in the game, but the other part was. I mean, I don't remember that shit. But, his daughter Sarah dying, part of it, that's the story. That's why he is the way he is. Point of him putting the girl body dead, when showing that he's very disconnected. He's lost his feeling. Shit.
Yeah.
But that's too much too soon. Maybe if it was spread out, it'd be different. First episode, 2 kids dying. They come. That was it.
That kind of shows you how soft people are. Like that shit was tame,
It's a trigger. It's a trigger.
No, I mean it's a trigger. I mean, there was a point in time when you barely showed any sort of death of children. In RoboCop 2, one of the probably most violent films ever, they shied away from that.
Yeah.
They just showed him, they just showed the kid like dying, but they didn't show him get shot or anything. They covered it over. So I mean, I can get people can get very sensitive about that sort of thing. Kids and dogs, kids and animals.
I was going to say that with animals all the time. You always hear about that. People do not want to see dogs get,
especially if it's like a pet or something like that, and it gets killed. Yeah.
Shit. Manny, do you remember? So Cliffhanger, Stallone. Yep. Right, they did the first screening of it, and it showed. Remember that scene with the bunny rabbit? The guy hears something, a bad guy in the snow, and he shoots at it. It was a bunny rabbit, and you can find the takeouts of the cutouts of the scenes, whatever. They had it on YouTube. He shoots it, and he kills the bunny rabbit. And they had this during one of the screens, and people were super pissed. So they cut that out of the final one. Because
they cut it out and they put a thing where it keeps escaping.
He has something. So he was getting shot at, but then he bounces away. People can't handle shit like that. So if thinking that's an animal, and once you start having humans, children, and then if you have a parent who's just sitting there watching, and then he's instantly thinking of his own kid, it's like I can't imagine my kid dead like that. Oh, this is horrible. I can't.
It's interesting to me.
I can understand that. I could see that. I could see why that could become a thing. Become a thing for somebody who's not, so I'll just say it for the sake of conversation, desensitized.
Yeah. I fully admit I'm desensitized. Yeah, you haven't, people fucking die all the time in shows, you know.
Yeah, people die all the time in shows, but kids are a taboo even to this day, even now.
Yeah. Motherfuckers haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, I guess. You know?
Well, no. Again, to be honest, most people haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies.
Well, that's exactly what. That's what I said. You know, they haven't seen
one
it.
One of the earliest like mediums as a kid where I saw another kid dying. That I still remember is to this day that impacted the hell out of me. Well, there's two. There's actually two of them. There's number one was Problem Child. You guys remember that one? It's the one with the
Problem Child? Was that like the Dennis?
No, not Problem Child.
My Girl, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, Problem Child's a comedy, you know?
No, it's
Stand by Me. Stand by Me had it. I remember that one.
Well, there's three actually. Yeah, there's Stand by Me. There's My Girl. There's two Macaulay Culkin ones. My Girl and the other one that he's with Elijah Wood.
Yeah, I think Elijah Wood is the one that dies in that one.
Oh, no, it's Macaulay Culkin because he's an asshole in that one. Yeah. But like I remember back then, like it even felt different whenever you would see a kid die as a kid. So I kind of get it because it's kind of something that we've been brought up, most of us, where it is kind of semi taboo.
Shit, even Stranger Things didn't do it with was it with Beth? She just disappeared. They didn't even show her dead body.
And she looked like she was 30.
You know, exactly. And she was supposed to be a kid, and they never brought it up again. You know, assume she's dead.
Yeah. But the thing, I heard some people on Twitter talking about how, like, you know, their parents are calling up like, oh my God, have you seen the show The Last of Us? This is incredible. You should watch it. And of course the person's like, yeah, Mom, I know this fucking game. Yeah, you know. But no, it's good. Again, I have my qualms, not with the show, but with just the genre. I'm tired of it. But this is a very exceptionally well done show. And I don't know if you guys saw some of the PlayStation guys going after Xbox guys going, look at our show compared to your bullshit. You know, talking about Halo. You know.
Oh God.
And you guys talked about it pretty much ad nauseum 2 podcasts ago. This show, I'll be interested to see where this show goes, because you guys are right when you guys mentioned that The Last of Us, especially The Last of Us 2, is probably one of the most nihilistic stories I've ever encountered, especially in video games. So I'll be interested to see how they continue with the story, if they bring, you know, some sort of a little bit more levity to some of the stories that they tell. But yeah, I mean, besides Adam's anecdotal stories, this show is a hit on a lot of people. Yeah. I saw somewhere it had like the second best, I guess, premiere in the last 10 years.
4-point-something million or something like that.
No, 10 million. 10 million.
Oh, 10 million?
Yeah, overall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a hit. I mean, video game movies.
Well, we'll keep watching. We'll keep, because House of the Dragon also started off strong, and that like dropped by half toward the end of the last few episodes.
I don't know if it dropped by half.
Well, they said it. It dropped by half. That's Google it. That was HBO.
Was they
numbers?
Ricky?
HBO. No. HBO. HBO talking about their numbers.
And you know Ricky.
That's why they said they're going to redo from what they can see going into the second season, what changes they could. That was a drastic drop.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the series is. Do we know how many episodes it is?
9 for The Last of Us is 9, and it's all the whole first game.
Got it. You know, hopefully it does a good job at continuing what they started.
Yeah, well,
staying true to the source material. By the way,
the dude that did the one that directed this one is not back for the other one.
Oh,
and that's the thing. He only did the first. So we don't know. I don't know. That's the only thing that always throws me off when I hear about these episodes. It's like, oh, this is directed by here. It's like, all right, doesn't he do all of them? Yeah. No, he had other things to do. Now we got Jimbo Joes over here, and he's going to come in for 2 episodes. And then we got this other chick over here coming in. Like, I feel like that's too much, because everyone has their own perspective and ideas.
They do that a lot. I mean, Game of Thrones.
What happened to the days of like, hey, you signed up on the project, 10 episodes. Well, this is your job for the next year or so. Can you do that? Can you stick around for this?
Yeah, real quick, I want to address something Jay Shep asked me. Tony does it now makes sense that Sony remade The Last of Us. This is one of the, again, I've said this a million times and I will say it again, right? I love the fact that I do this podcast because everything I say is recorded. If you go back, I specifically said they remade The Last of Us because there's a TV show coming.
That was it.
There you go. I've said it. I said it. It's on tape, you know?
Shit, they could have made even more money if they didn't do that and they just put the one that they released on sale. If they just say, hey, boom, $20. Hey, $10 if you could prove that you have HBO Max service, on the system. Do something like that and make buco bucks. I don't think people are going to be jumping to pay $70. Yeah.
But no, the show's good. But like I said, I'm probably not going to go back, to be honest. Again, I'm done with that type of... I'm done with the zombie stuff, man. And in general, I just don't want that nihilistic shit. I was like, I want something a little bit more hopeful. So I hope
that's a trigger. There's a trigger for you.
That's not a trigger though. It's just I'm tired of it.
If somebody says, "Hey, I got this show," right? So they got these zombies and shit, and that's enough for you. You're
no, because it took too much of that. Understand?
There you go. Yeah, you're done. You don't want to.
So it's not really a trigger. By the way, here's the funny thing, right? I've already been tired of this shit since way back. Remember the first Uncharted game that came out in 2007? Remember the part where the zombies show up? I literally, when I'm playing it, I'm like, I'm tired of this shit in every video game. Yeah. And this that fucking how many years was that? 16 years ago, and we're still doing and we're still doing this shit.
I was like, here comes the flood.
Yeah. So it's basically like when I'm watching these zombie shows, it's not like, oh my god, I'm just like rolling my eyes like, oh, here we fucking go. Oh, the humans are the real monsters. All right, we've been here before. But I hope I hope the show is successful. I hope they don't fuck it up. By the way, I don't know what that noise is right now. Thank you. I hope the show's successful. I hope they don't fuck it up. And I'm interested to see what happens when they do season 2 and a certain person kills another certain person. I'll be on Twitter all night with popcorn watching that shit. Those reactions,
two things I see them doing: either really changing up that part of it, or casting someone that no one wants to hate, like a very well-known actress. If they do something like that, I'm like, well, they're gonna love her just to see her. I don't know who.
With like 100 pounds of muscle,
Yeah. Oh, you bring Sarah Connor style. I don't know. They could bring Ronda Rousey. There you go. Ronda Rousey, perfect. She looks like her too. I just don't think she can act.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think but she could do all the scenes right at the beginning. Remember when she starts doing the pull-ups and stuff?
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, but the show's good. Very well done. That's all I have to say. Go to the Coalition Gaming, Adam.
Yeah, Coalition Gaming. Over on YouTube,
and listen to our spoiler cast on it. We went deep, and obviously since we're all gamers, we were comparing it to the game. Yep.
That was the whole point.
That's all. Exactly. All right, what have we been playing lately, man? Adam, I'll go to you because you were always playing something.
I'm always playing shit. What was that? I was playing some shit. I was playing Doom Eternal today on the Steam Deck.
Oh shit!
Going through there, it's amazing how well it runs. But then I also noticed, like, based off of performance, even though it's running at 60 FPS and it's fine, everything is great on it. It doesn't drain that much battery. But then if I put on God of War or something like that, it's like I could watch the battery just like just sync out. But it's funny. But it's fun to play those type of things on the decks. Playing that. Playing Division 1, went back to that because I got some buddies that have just been exposed to it. One guy picked it up, and another guy was like, "Oh wow, this is an awesome game." And it's like, "All right, so I'll run with you guys." So I've been running through the story with them on that one. Destiny 2, going back to the campaign because another buddy of mine wants to play into that. And I think that's it. I feel like there's something else. There's always something. I jump in and out of a lot of games. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. I'm waiting for the Dead Space to be this week or so. That's what I'm really hyped on. So I'm just jumping in a lot of older,
Cool. Manny, have you dived into anything recently?
No, I have not really right now. I'm just sort of just we had those 2 off times and stuff. I didn't really play any games, so I'm looking to finish off some stuff. There's stuff in the docket that I really want to finish off.
Such as?
I mean, I still have EX Troopers. I'm like halfway or a little bit more than halfway through that game. And I've been looking at the thing because recently there was a sizzle video that Sony released of all the games that are coming out this year, and looks like Spider-Man's on there. So,
oh boy,
it might mean that I might get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, you get them in stores now.
Man, did you just say of all the games coming out, Spider-Man's one of them?
Spider-Man's one of them. That's it. That sold me on a PlayStation 5.
Is it really as easy as they say it is to get? Because I, just for the hell of it, when I look at Target, because I just got the gung ho Kingdom, I was like, let me just see, because I have PS5. I just want to see for other people, and it still says it's not available. So I don't know if when he said that, if he meant certain outlets would have it, or
they before the during the holiday, you could actually go to stores and see PlayStation 5s on the shelves. Right now, everything's desolate. But at least they managed to pull their shit together enough to they got at least during one of the most important times of the year, for people buying junk, at least had them on the thing. So yeah, so they had it then, but I don't know about now.
Yeah. I know people still trying to get those systems, that and the Series X, and they can't find it.
I kind of want them to make the flat one, the smaller one, because I kind of really don't want to have that giant piece of equipment sitting around. To be honest, I still like having my PlayStation 4 out, it's so slim, it's so flat.
Yeah,
so
you won't need it though when you get a PS5. You can play your games on your PS.
Yo, man, I can't play them on PT. No, flying around.
Yeah. All right, Carlos, have you been playing anything lately?
Other than chess, no.
Okay.
It's the lull before something comes out. Oh, but I will be playing something probably soon. Jedi Fallen Order.
Let's go. March. Yeah.
I've always wanted to play it.
Survivor. Or he said Fallen Order. He said the first
one. Because I never played it.
Oh, okay.
So I want to play that before the sequel comes out. So hopefully, I'll get that started soon. But yeah, other than I haven't played anything other than chess.
Nice. No, I haven't played anything. I'm about to though this weekend. I can't say what it is, but look out for my review on Monday. But yeah, that's
damn.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. But I haven't been playing anything. I haven't been compelled to play anything. Been doing personal project stuff that I'm finally getting to. More satisfying than video games. Being honest,
we sort of talked about this on the Torrance episode. Or there's games to play, but I kind of want to do some of my own shit.
Yeah, Homer. Yeah. In general, I mean, it's kind of easy now since there's no games. In general, like last year, I didn't play a lot of games just because not a lot interested me. But this year, I'm purposely going to play less games, which is funny because I only played like 6 games last year, so I'm probably going to play even less this year. But if I do review anything, because I'm going to try not to review many games this year. It's going to be the big stuff like Spider-Man. You already know I'm going to try to review that one. But yeah, other than that, I'm purposely going to just put gaming on the side, which is funny because I host a gaming podcast, but I want to focus on more other shit that's actually fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? Refer to the Torrance podcast for more.
Like watching a semi get out of New York traffic.
Yeah, yo, motherfuckers are crazy.
It's funny because I had a buddy of mine. He said the same thing. He's like, "Oh, there's nothing to play now. I don't know what to play." I was like, "This is the best time either find something else to do or go through your backlog."
Yeah, but that's the thing. I should always press with new stuff because I'm like. I'll get to the back. Here's the thing. When I tried to go through my backlog, it felt like work. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So
that's if there's nothing there. But if let's say there's a certain game that everyone's been, but that's what I'm saying. If everyone's been seeing it, because that's how I ended up playing the Division again. A buddy of mine was bored, and another buddy of his told him check out the Division, and then he hit me up and said, "I seen you beat this shit. You like playing? This is a really good game. I don't know why I never played this shit." And and because there's nothing new to play, so.
Yeah, but I mean, if something strikes my fancy, like remember, I randomly just played Cyberpunk last year. I'm like, all right, but again, I did try playing The Witcher 3 during the break, and I was like, I don't want to commit to $100 game. I'm good, so I stopped. The controls weren't as bad as people said though, but I heard they were fixed, so that's probably why. Looked good, even though it looked old too.
It's dated.
You could tell, but I do want to go back to it because I do think there's a quality game in there. It's just I don't want to commit to a big game like Final Fantasy 16. That's probably going to be that, and Spider-Man are probably going to be the big games I play this year. Like if I'm going to play
which game were you talking about originally?
Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man. There's going to be the The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3.
Gotcha,
it's like that's a lot of time to commit to an old game. That's a lot of time to commit to an old game.
Do you have to do? I wonder how long it is just for the camp. Like that's the 100-some hours. That's for doing all kinds of shit. Like, what about just the campaign? If you just went the straight,
I don't like unless I'm. Actually, I don't like doing that. I don't like just rushing through a game just for the campaign. I want to play it all. I only do that when I have to review a game. Like God of War, my first playthrough, I skipped all the side stuff, just rushed through it so I get the review out. Then I went back to replay. But the game was short anyway, and it was just a very enjoyable experience. But yeah, I'm going to try to limit the big games this year. Just focus on good stuff so I could get to my other writings. So who else? Brett, what have you been playing lately?
RimWorld.
RimWorld?
What you call
RimWorld?
Yeah, RimWorld.
That sounds like a porno.
I was thinking the book. I was thinking of the book.
RimWorld, yeah.
Dude, RimWorld.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, it's a colony building sim on my Steam Deck.
Oh shit! Let's go.
It's pretty cool. It's got a decent kind of narrative building AI. It's kind of sandbox, but it's not. It's got an AI that actually gauges like the pace of your building and what you're doing, and kind of builds an overarching story along with you. It's weird, but like it's not like random shit just happens. It'll send waves of progressively harder things at you. It'll gauge how far along you are, what you've gotten done, what you haven't, and kind of build a narrative around that. It's somewhere between like Stardew Valley in terms of like resource management and SimCity. So it's like SimCity, you build and manage a bunch of shit, but raiders and space pirates attack you, and it's very Oregon Trail. There you go. It's SimCity meets Oregon Trail. Currently, I've got 4 survivors, 3 of the original crash landed crew that I started off with, and a raider who had come by themselves, decided they were going to raid my colony, went through a cave, got stung by a bunch of scorpions, and almost died. Then I had my doctor run in and rescue them, nurse them back to health, and then slowly but surely Stockholm Syndrome them until they decided to join me.
Is this also like State of Decay, like your whole crew can die and you would have to find new people, or you have to keep this group alive?
Yeah, it's like State of Decay. As long as one person is alive, your campaign is still going. It's fun. It's pretty cool. It's I like those kind of games. It's one of the things I like about like the 4X kind of games. There's a certain kind of mundane calmness about like sitting back and like harvesting your plants and building things and mining out a cave, and then just completely massacring an entire squadron of space pirates, and then going back to tend your potato plants again. It's a nice balance.
That Plus, totally sounds like a Brett game.
Oh, it 100% is. Next up on my on deck, but on TIS, I'm looking to get Cult of the Lamb, which is another kind of colony building sim thing. But you started. What's that?
About time.
Yeah, I know. Brian was waiting for that. Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it'll go on sale while I'm finishing RimWorld.
How much are you willing to pay for?
I mean, it's like $25, $30 right now. So,
Adam, dealer, you sound like a dealer right now.
Like, yo, man, I got some.
Yeah, I'll say if it hits 15, I'll pull the trigger.
What you need?
All right, yeah, give me a second. Let me see.
Let me ask Julio.
All right, good stuff. Brian, what about you, man? What you been playing lately?
Firstly, I would like to say this motherfucker, Tony.
Whoa.
What's up?
After how okay, Tony's been saying that he's going to play The Witcher 3 once it gets like the remaster for like a year and a half now, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can't wait. You know, and then I go on holiday. I was like, okay, cool, it's come out. So maybe Tony will play it, and then I come back, and then he's like, yeah, I don't feel like playing like that much time into it. Like maybe I'll pick it up later. And it's like, you're never going to pick it up then.
Probably, but I did play it though.
What for? How long?
Probably like
Hour,
an hour.
two?
Yeah, probably an hour or two.
That happens a lot, Tony.
That's barely the surface, Tony. That's the thing. Like,
Oh no, I
until you
understand
get
that.
past, like,
Yeah, I understand that, but I was just like,
at least do like the Red Baron and stuff, you know, in the first town. Like, at least get up there, and then like I'll be like, okay, you played a decent chunk of the game. You know, you got to experience it, but no.
Right, and I think it's the Red Dead 2 dilemma. Like people get in, they see just the sheer scope of it, they're like,
It's
no.
overwhelmed.
that didn't happen to me with Red Dead. I was like, let's fucking go. You know, as a matter of fact, Red Dead. Because remember, you know how I feel about open world games now. That was one of the games like, oh yeah, this is one of the reasons I used to love these fucking games until every game was an open world game. You know, but Witcher 3, we'll see what happens, right? Because I'm still intrigued. It's just not now. You know,
You're never going to touch it.
We'll see.
No, it's been backlogged. It's gone.
Yeah, well, but I did try it, so
And
there's
it's gone.
that.
It missed the Tony window. It's done. Okay.
This is true. Yeah, yeah. Generally, if I don't play a game the year it comes out, I'm probably not gonna play it. You know, that's just
Right,
how
well-
it is now.
What about 20 no tax?
What happened? What the fuck are you
Left for
talking
Dead.
about?
Cult of
No.
the Lamb.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay.
Okay. What I've been playing? Again, the Steam Deck is just built for this. I've been playing Transformers Fall of Cybertron on Steam Deck because
Oh, yeah, you can do it.
damn right. It's actually a really good game. However, it's just full of Unreal 3 nonsense, and that's kind of the one reason why I don't like it. And by that, I mean, if you play the game on Unreal 3, then you know exactly what to expect in terms of visuals. It's that, I don't know how to explain it, but again, if you play Gears of War 1, then you know just how it looks, you know, because every single Unreal 3 game just looks the exact same. It's weird. So yeah, it's just been full of that, but it's good. It's surprisingly good. It's a really solid game, and it feels weird playing a game where there's no like RPG mechanics and loot drops or anything. It's just you go through the story and that's it. It's like, oh, cool. It's just a video game, pure and simple. Yeah, and then I'm also going. I actually started playing the sequel, Fall of Cybertron. No,
Whoa.
War of Cybertron. Oh, okay, sorry. No, I played War for Cybertron, and now I'm playing Fall of Cybertron. Yeah. Yeah, so reason why is I just always wanted to play them and I never did. So finally getting around to it. And from here on in, I think that actually tied me over till Forspoken. So should be interesting to play that game and see how that goes. And then maybe I'll join Carlos and play the Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, I'm definitely playing that shit. That's probably going to be the first. Well, it's not going to be the first because there's something else I'm playing. Watch one day, people. But that's the first game I'm really hyped to play. That's in March. So let's see. Because, you know, maybe you guys can help me out here. Because to me, it looks like this year is going to be a little thin too. But I got Jedi Fallen, or excuse me, Jedi Survivor, Final Fantasy 16, right? And Spider-Man 2. What else is dropping? That's new. No remakes. I know Dead Space is coming.
I think Starfield, if you were ever interested in that.
Yeah, Starfield. Yeah,
Redfall?
yeah. No, I don't. With Redfall, which one is that again? Is that the multiplayer game?
The Borderlands. Yeah, Borderlands.
Oh no, no, fuck that. No multiplayer games.
But you like playing with us. Why do you not like us?
Yeah,
Why you?
It's a group multiplayer. It's not PvP.
Do we trigger you?
Yeah,
It's PvE.
I don't know. Something about that game, man. I don't know.
Well, we got to see more.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know about that game. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I mean, there's probably going to be a couple others, but Jedi Survivor, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man 2. I think those are the big ones for me this year. If there's other stuff, let me know. Anyway, I think we're done here, man. Do we have anything to plug?
Not over here.
No plugs.
We already hit the Last of Us recap that we did on the coalition.com, Coalition on YouTube.
Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. Coalition, check out a lot of changes. So once all these games start coming out, we'll start filling out with more content. I know Rich has got some other things he wants to do, some video packages and stuff, certain things. So,
oh yes,
yep,
good stuff.
And then that's it. Walking Dead stuff is on hold until fucking April. It's crazy, man.
Real quick here. No, I don't care about Yakuza Ishin. Give me Yakuza Like a Dragon 2. That's what I want.
See, now that was a topic with some people I was talking to today because they were upset. They were like, "Oh, we got the Like a Dragon, the new one's coming." I was like, "Well, that's not the Ichiban story." Yeah, it is. It's like no, it's not. This is because they confuse people when they drop the Yakuza name, and they're like, everything is now Like a Dragon.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's dumb that they did that because now people are confused. They think that they're playing the Ichiban story, but in the past. And that's not what this is.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So it's.
The Man Who Erased His Name. I've never heard of that. Logic Wins. Have anybody heard of that? All right, there you go, man. All right. Controversial, but I like Ichi more than Kiryu. That is controversial.
I like Ichiban.
Ichiban's cool. Ichiban's cool.
He was cool.
Yeah. Bruce wants a union now that his name was not in the credits for the Last of Us television show. Oh, Bruce Staley, that dude? Is that what he's talking about? Hold on, Mighty Nerd, what are you talking about, bro? I guess he got
shout out to Mighty Nerd.
Yeah, shout out to Mighty Nerd, man. He always comes in, asks everybody how they're doing, He's chilling. He's waiting for that PS5 Slim,
You said yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Bruce Staley, all right. Why he didn't want a union before, right?
Oh yeah, Jay Shep, yes. He said, "What about the Last of Us podcast?" Yeah, probably Monday after each episode, we'll have an episode go live.
Yeah, you can check that out.
So yeah, me, Rich, and Adam will be there on a weekly basis covering the Last of Us TV show for HBO. See what goes on over there. Tony may or probably not will be inspired to.
I can see Tony jumping in if they really go off the rails, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
No, then I won't watch because I'm trying to do that. Like if I know something's going to get me angry, I just don't watch. That's why I skipped the Lord of the Rings show. I'm like, okay, this is going to be trash, so let me just not bother. And it turned out it was trash. So I saved myself, my blood pressure.
It made some months. They're making another one. It did all right.
Yeah, I mean, people like it. That's cool, but I'm like, if you're not going to use the Silmarillion or the Untold Tales as background, what the fuck am I watching this fanfic for? So
they probably because they couldn't get the rights to
which is stupid. Right? They couldn't get the rights to it.
Weird. I still don't understand. Like they have certain rights to certain characters and certain. It reminded me of that Marvel deal with Spider-Man and Fox and all that stuff. Sony. That I don't understand. What
they got?
Remember, Marvel sold.
They didn't get Gandalf.
No, I know that.
Marvel sold the rights to different studios. That's what
I know, but that's what I'm saying. No, I know that. I mean, that's the same thing with the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings makes no sense. Yeah,
the family didn't sell all of it to Amazon. Like, didn't give them rights to all the characters or the backstory, which is why they can't. Certain characters.
Yeah, so that's why they had to do a weird, like essentially a fan fiction version of the Silmarillion.
So it's like, why am I going to watch this shit? Okay, by the way, Adam, what's the name of it? Coalition Gaming, is that what it's called? They went
Coalition Gaming. Yep, Coalition Gaming. So you should see it hopefully by now.
It's on you. That's the name of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. And it's got a different logo. You'll see it, but it still says the Coalition Gaming.
Okay, yeah, because they want to know where they can find it.
Yep, it's there.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Follow, put the comments, say what's up. We will reply back to you. Keep it going.
All right, man, good stuff. All right, anyway, make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. You could also find us on every podcast app on the planet. Throwdown Show, 2 words, Throwdown Show. Throwdownshow.com to listen to previous episodes. And if you've been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the content, Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Play some old games. Clean up your backlog.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Monjoma.
So much can change in 1 year. You can go from, if you don't like it, don't watch it, to I'm leaving the industry.
Hey, listen, all I gotta say is Jagon did it first, man. Jagon did it first.
and he was nice on the eyes.
He was, and he was just nice, period, you know. All right, people, we'll see you on Sunday, man. Later.
Latest.
Peace.